Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 25th through the 31st, 2016. So let's just take a moment to connect in with the energy for this week. And we're just praying that we will connect into the information that brings each one of us the fullest amount of alignment and wholeness in this week. And so, as we just kind of get a sense of what's happening, occurring in this week, they are indicating some shift in terms of your divine perception. And they were showing me a teardrop in the third eye. So there is, I get a sense of just a cleansing, is what I'm getting a sense about, that will occur for you. So just be aware of your energy. I know that on Friday we had a full moon, a very powerful one. So in this week, you may begin to feel some after effects of a particular clearing of energy that I really feel is somehow going to cause you to feel a shift in how you see the world, and how you see yourself, and how you see others, and the events that are occurring for you. And I'm just really getting a sense that because of this, it's going to allow you to kind of come out of a shell. It's almost like coming out of the chrysalis stage. And you're going to begin to really open yourself up more to your life purpose. Now, they want you to just not feel the need to push, okay? Or to get caught up. They wrote Leo. So don't get caught up in grandizing your your goals. Um, just take it one step at a time, and focus on enjoying yourself. Focus on allowing the ease in the process. So, focus very much on when you're aware of resistance. Don't feel like you got to push against that resistance, because all you're going to do is activate the resistance even more. So when you feel like you're kind of running into resistance, let that be guidance to you that you need to try a different approach. Usually we it's like we kind of stamp our feet, when someone won't allow us to do something that we feel we want to do. And the universe is not saying you can't. The universe is just trying to help you to find a different approach, or to look at things differently. This may, for some of you, have to do with a job that you're in. So you may want to look at this situation differently. And instead of trying to buck against it, just allow yourself to recognize that this is helping you to get some clarity around, from your soul's perception or perspective. From your soul's perspective, this is helping you to get an understanding of what brings you fulfillment. When you know what clearly doesn't do that for you, then you're able to really um, make a case for what does. And that's what happens in any moment. Both possibilities are always being created and offered. And it's up for you to focus on what you love instead of what you don't. You are always choosing between the contrast that the universe offers as a gift, because its desire is for your free will, for you to be able to choose the path that you want. And our desire is that you would choose the path of least resistance, where so that you don't have to experience a lot of worry. Now they keep writing the word body. So they're also saying, and I think I'm starting to experience this myself this morning, that that you may sense, or your body may be kind of, it's seeming like it's kind of going a little screwy on you energetically. You may feel sore, or it's kind of like a detox. So your physical body may be going through a detox. So if you're feeling a little under the weather, then just know that this is a part of that clearing process. And wants you to know that you're okay, and that He's with you, and He's handling your life. And He wants you. He writes the word "go," and He's saying, don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to change your life, especially if that means job. I've been seeing this word off and on as I'm talking to you, sort of really interrupting my thought process. But we have to really acknowledge what information they're providing for us. And so he's writing, just let it happen. Let the changes happen. God is saying, don't resist. Let the changes happen. And He's showing me the number six, which means don't worry. Every time I see that number, I always think about the Bob Marley song, "Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right." And it really is. You may feel vulnerable, but that is a part of the process of change, something that we have to learn to embrace if you don't resist it. And what you want to do is, I just told myself this morning, and I heard the angels say, allow your alignment. So I'm not going to try to like resist getting sick. Like, I kept finding myself saying, I'm going to fight this. And what they put in my mouth was to allow my well-being. So my focus is just to allow well-being. And this is what you need to do for yourself. Allow whatever it is that you desire. Don't, try to fight what's happening, or find a way to stay out of the situation, the negative, because what you're doing is you're giving energy to the negative. So just rephrase it. I'm going to allow abundance. I'm going to allow the abundance. I'm going to allow my worth. I'm going to allow prosperity. I'm going to allow sobriety. I'm going to allow myself to see the big picture. I'm going to allow myself to just expand who I am. I'm going to allow myself to be open to the changes, even changes in job or career. I'm going to allow the changes that allow me a new home and a new perspective. Allow a new relationships and a new community. Okay, so again, they're writing the word Leo, and they're saying that just get don't don't grandize, don't get ahead of yourself. Okay, stay with the alignment that is unfolding with you. And if you can, in meditation, if you happen to be going through something physical, you have to, and that forces you to sort of relax, then as you're lying there, just allow yourself to just experience how, as you're allowing well-being, allow yourself to meditate and just notice how that well-being, the source of energy is flowing through your body, through your energy field, and is creating shifts and changes and expansion right there in the present moment. You'll really understand how profound change is, and that is the true nature of your divine being, who is always evolving, who is always expanding eternally in the present moment. And you'll draw yourself there and allow yourself to sort of have what you're desiring much faster. Been experiencing so much effortless ease and things just occurring. Just doing this, talking about these things with you and putting it into my practice for myself. Let go of your suffering. Let go of your attitude towards suffering and trying to fight it. Focus on allowing abundance, allowing your alignment. Just let it unfold for you. Okay, let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. And it's Okay, it's Archangel Ariel. And so she's already given us a heads up. And look, there's the lion back there. So courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So, you know, the sense here is, since she was just talking about, they kept talking about Leo, and that the lion is a symbol of the Leo. Really, stay focused. Don't allow yourself to get pulled in directions that are not really flowing for you, or that is flowing with you in the moment. It's nothing wrong with seeing ahead, but it's more important that you stand where you are and see what is truly occurring and appreciate it, and accept it, what's really happening. And I'm talking about the powerful changes, the things that are unfolding for you, the things that are about your desires that are being revealed to you in small ways, and the guidance that is articulating very clearly in very simple terms, in a very peaceful voice, the action steps that you should take one at a time. And really, let's say if you get a sense of something that you should look into a new job, well, it's just look, like, write it down, what you heard, and then read the sentence. Because a lot of people panic, and they move ahead, and they think that the angels just told them to give up their job today. And then all of a sudden they go jump into, I got to give up my job. I don't want to do that. That's really scary. How am I going to pay for my bills? And that's not what they're saying. They're saying, look, just look. So it's like, being like having a test and reading the directions, studying what the verb is and what's the direct object, and following that precisely. You got to follow the guidance that's given to you precisely. And then you'll stay in a place of security, and you'll understand that they're just giving you the go ahead to start expanding your territory, to look beyond where you are right now. And they would never change is like a flower that is just unfolding one petal at a time. So if you can just sort of, I was at the museum this weekend. I was observing some of the Eastern um, um, art and the architecture that was there. And I just noticed that everything, it was like all these tiny little details, and it just reminded me of a petal, or like a sunflower with all those little petals and those little openings from its core. And so it reminds us that we must do likewise. We must be with change, as it's unfolding. We usually just jump and try to swallow the whole pill of change, and nobody can handle that. Okay? So be courageous to stay with the moment, because that really takes courage. If you really want to come from a place of strength that Archangel Ariel really is exemplifying in this card and the Leo, then be in the moment. That takes a great deal of courage. All right, let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. And we're using the Angel Tarot card. And so this is always a wonderful card. What I'm hearing right away is that your family, because this is a family card, a relationship card, fulfillment of relationships, that your family is going to be taken care of, that this is going to be a smooth transition for you, that you're going to feel. So they really want you to focus on how you feel. What a lot of people tend to do is not think about how they want to feel and as the intention behind a desire that they're trying to manifest. If you focus there, you will notice the evidence of this alignment for you. You cannot identify through the evidence of the physical that you'll be happy or that you'll be okay. If you're waiting for those signs first, then you may be waiting for a while, because what has to happen is your inner well-being has to flow. It has to offer this, and it will give you immediate feedback in your through your emotions of the positive or negatives, meaning is this in alignment or not in alignment. And as you keep tuning into how you want to feel, if you say through this process that you set an intention, I want to feel ease, I want to feel flow and expansion. I want to feel grounded. And then this becomes your template for um, measuring if this situation or person is equaling up to that alignment, because you've already established the alignment. You've allowed yourself to feel it when the idea came. You felt that. You felt the impact of the decision. It always comes as a feeling first, because everything is manifested vibrationally. And then all you have to do is keep flowing with that feeling of alignment, and it will guide you. You will know when you see the right house or the right job. You'll just know, because you'll feel it right away. And you just have to acknowledge the feeling first and stay away from going into the pros and the cons about the specific details of the outcome of what you're trying to manifest. Stay away from that, because that knocks everybody off course. I just saw someone on Facebook who, kind of has been working on themselves, and they asked everybody, "Am I doing okay?" And that's the wrong way, because you're looking for feedback outside of you. How do you feel inside? Because that is determining the progress that you're making. All right, so the card says a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. And this happens because you recognize that the truth of well-being is emotion, and that you are proceeding forward step by step to this well-being of emotion, and witnessing its expansion within you and in your life, and then be pleasantly surprised by the outcomes that they yield to you. Okay? All right. I usually want to tune into the card, but I kind of feel like that's really visually, but I feel like I really got a lot of it this way, just in terms of sensation and thoughts that were coming to me. Okay, but they're just letting me know that you're going to be safe, and everything. They're right in the body. So eat healthily. Okay, take care of your body this week. If you don't take care of your body, how are you going to feel good? Simple as that. So if you've been trying to put off exercise or eating the right foods, how are you going to feel good? You're going to remain in that state of negativity, and seeing your perspective is going to be so focused on the resistance instead of the allowing. So shift that, okay? That's what they were just showing me. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. Another card from the water suit, and again, they were showing me huge shifts are available to you if you would allow it. If you're willing to stand in the alignment of your source and acknowledge its unfolding in each moment, and not get ahead of yourself. All right, so this card. So, what I'm sort of getting with these two cards here is that some shifts in relationships could open up. This is a great opportunity for you to possibly meet your soulmate, or to meet new friends who are going to now come into your life and support you in this new journey of expansion. And what this means is that when you shift, then the outer world shifts. And so you may find improvements or rekindling in your relationships, is what this card means. Or there may be a fresh new start. Maybe people see you differently all of a sudden. They sense your energy, and that you're not negatively focused or allowing, you're not holding on to negative beliefs. And whether you believe it or not, people may not be able to pinpoint what it is they don't resonate with you about. But when you are holding a vibration of intense negative emotion, whatever that could be, like loathing, then for some reason they can't connect with you as much as they would like to. Okay? So that's why we must care deeply about the relationship of our own alignment with our source of well-being. If you don't make this your top priority and first number one priority, then you are going to have a completely different relationship with the world than someone else you're looking at and feeling envy towards or about how they're doing. So really, really, really allow yourself to focus on your purpose that you love, and then allow those changes. Don't resist them. Allow them. Your ego's going to start talking and telling you all the things about you that you're not good at doing and what you're not worthy of. Don't listen. Just focus on how that idea makes you feel. Can you do that for me this week? Just really focus on how everything makes you feel. And if something doesn't make you feel good, don't worry about why it doesn't make you feel good. Find something immediately that does. Always work to feel better until you feel really good. That's your goal. That's your purpose. Okay, that's truly healing for you. That will be truly healing for you. Okay, let me just tune in and see if there are any additional messages I'm getting. And just a sense of you're just gonna really see yourself. You're gonna see yourself. You're gonna actually, what they're showing, you're gonna be watching yourself on a huge screen. It's gonna feel like that. And all of a sudden, you're gonna just, it's like you're looking at yourself through Source and watching you out of alignment, how you're choosing to always do the thing that's out of alignment, that's outside of that source of well being. And you're gonna have this aha moment, okay? And they're telling me it's really gonna hit big to you by Sunday of this week. So just be aware that you may see yourself in ways that you may not be happy about, but because of this card, they're telling me that you're going to be so appreciative, and they're reminding me of that tear again. It's just going to be cleansing. You may cry, but don't worry. You may feel like but just let it go. Let the emotions flow. Let that cleanse, let that purge happen for you. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. Whoa! Okay, all water cards. This is really awesome. And we have the King of Water here. And so wow, this is about, the king represents stability. Stability and in your emotional life. Stability in the pursuit of your dreams. So wow, this is going to be something huge, something huge shift. Your whole relationship dynamic is going to become something far more expansive and far more secure than you've ever known. The only thing that you have to do is allow it. You got to be brave to stand in the truth of your alignment in the moment as it's unfolding and not step out of that. Don't worry about what's coming next. Don't worry about, oh, can I trust this person? If you meet your soulmate, can I trust that this is going to be the right? Don't ask those questions. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. You're not getting married in that moment. What you're doing is you're forming an acquaintance. You're forming a relationship, one where you are just experiencing your own vibration. You're experiencing the offering of positive, pure emotions that you may feel this profound connection, whether it's with a person or with this job idea or this whatever creative things you're doing, because of course this person, the King of Water, is a very sort of artistic and person, so they're very much in touch with their feelings and their emotions, being able to express themselves. Again, this could also relate to having that emotional purge and just so all of a sudden hitting that peaking, having a new peak of maturity that you reach within yourself. Okay, if you are guided to work of charity, I also think of this is the King of Water, them as healers or musicians. Think of talents and gifts and expressing them. So a lot of things are going to unfold and reach their peak for you. But this will be, once it peaks, then there's another expansion. Okay, and so you must stay in the moment so that you don't get to that peak and go, is this it now? Because that's where you start to feel like you're all of a sudden you repeat the cycle, like, well, now what? And that's because you haven't stayed with the process. You were focused on manifesting the outcome, and then when you got there, it's not what it what was, what you made it to be, because you skipped over all the unfolding, all that appreciation. You weren't there with it. Okay, let me just tune in and just see if there's any additional information. But they're pointing out, open your heart. That's all they want you to do. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Okay? But let me just tune in and see what else comes up. So they're showing me a foundation and a very thin pole, and they wrote the word G, like, okay, G, now what? Okay. Um, but the thing is, when you say to yourself that, then look for what comes to you next, because you're going to have the foundation. Okay, the foundation is going to be set. They show me a very thick, solid, square platform, and then this. Don't be afraid of, like, having to know what comes next. I mean, this is creativity. This is what you're here for, is to exercise your free will and decide. And you do that from a place. The platform is your powerful emotions. When you ask that question, see what comes to you. Or if it doesn't come to you in that moment, just know that those branches are going to fill in, okay? As you just don't resist by keep saying to yourself, I gotta know. I don't know what it is, and then you start getting to that negative emotion because you want it to flow right then and there, and you're not being satisfied with this feeling underneath you that is so empowering, that if you would just allow yourself to be in that moment, the branches will start to grow and the leaves will start to blossom. Okay, so and they give me a sense that by spring, those leaves will really blossom for you. All right, let's take a look at the card for that pull from underneath the card. And this is great card, and this the Six of Air, because this card always means that things, as it says, are looking up. The end of a difficult situation, possibly taking a trip, possibly relocating, some kind of transition. Like, again, confirms, and it doesn't mean you're going to leave your job this week. It just means that you're going to start a voyage that is going to lead you to making some huge changes, because your mind, the air, is about communication, and the intellect, the mind, and the criticism, that inner struggle, that inner resistance that happens in the mind, because the mind is the place of action, the creativity, and how you focus that mind. And so there's something that's going to let up, where you're not going to focus your mind the way you did before. It's just all going back to what they said in the very beginning. There's going to be a shift here. And just pay attention to the ideas, the thoughts that are coming to you. That will be guidance. Because with all this emotional stability, we got all the best cards from this suit. The first one, the last one, and the king. So this is a big week, a huge win for you in terms of relationships and your emotional life, and just exemplifying someone who is strong. And maybe this is coming to me, the word conviction. So maybe in this week you're really going to have strong convictions now, from which you can build and allow the future of your well-being to be present as immediately, let's put it this way, as immediately as you are willing to allow those changes to happen, to occur for you. Okay, so it sends you lots of love for the wonderful opportunities that are available to you in this week emotionally, for you to grow. And I really would like for you to pay attention to how that's happening to you. Notice how your thoughts are changing, how your perspective is evolving. And if you are looking for an angel reading, please feel free to contact me at theangelschool.com, and which you can find in the description link below this video, as well as join us on Facebook for the daily card messages Monday through Friday. And so, really, the angels give us more detailed information and really great messages that I know I get a lot from as well. So hope to see you there, and that's also found in the description link below. I think you can also connect to this through Twitter as well. Those daily card messages if you can't connect through Facebook. So try my Twitter link, which is also below in this video. All right, so God bless you all, and may the force of love be with you.